Welcome, friends. My name's Annette Nielsen, and I serve as the Executive Director of the Hunter College New York City Food Policy Center. Tonight, we're here to celebrate our class of 2024, 40 Under 40 Rising Stars, an event we've been proud to host since 2016. Before we tip our hats to the 2024 cohort, I have the honor of introducing our Associate Provost, Chris Braun, to say a few words. Chris, please come to the stage.
Thank you, Annette. It's really a great pleasure to be here at the Hunter School, Silverman School of Social Work. It's really a wonderful season of graduations and celebrations and awards, and so I'm thrilled to be here to participate in this one and to recognize all of you for the great work you do. I want to tell you a few words about Hunter College. I'm sure many of you know, but Hunter College was founded in the 1870s by Thomas Hunter as a school to train female educators. And Thomas Hunter was an exceptional man of those years. He himself was an Irish immigrant, and he had a lot to say about training and including in participation of our society, many people, not just women, who had formerly been excluded. And so it's really a proud tradition that we have here at Hunter to be an engine for social mobility, to be a place of change for our city and for the people of our city. And we're quite proud of that. And we're happy to be associated with the work that you do, which really fits some of the same goals. Just to tell you a little bit about us, we have approximately 2,300 students, 72% are undergraduates. The student population is predominantly female, about 68% of our total enrollment at Hunter are women students. We are a Hispanic serving institution. We have approximately 30% of the student population identifies as Hispanic or Latino, 25% identify as Asian descent, about 25% of our students identify as white, and about 15 to 20% identify as Black or African American, depending on the year. 41% of our students are first-generation students at Hunter College. So it is truly an engine of social mobility for our students that makes great impact on the city of New York, and we're really here to celebrate that through your work, which does exactly the same thing. The motto of Hunter College, proposed first by Thomas Hunter, is Mihi Cura Futuri, the care of the future is mine. And we like to brag about this, that our work is meant to create future scholars and to create change for the future in positive directions in our city. And I'd like to personalize that a little bit because my own college motto, my own alma mater was Hampshire College, and our motto was non satis square, to know is not enough. And I think those two mottos together really encapsulates the work that we want to do here. We want to create knowledge that serves the future, but then we want to use it. We want to make change because knowing it is not enough. So I'm really happy to be here to celebrate this kind of work with you. I think the knowledge we create will make the world better. And if you look at where some of the awardees do their work, I think it's quite obvious. They go out to work for Meals on Wheels for the city, East New York Farms, the Mayor's Office of Food Policy, Mercy for Animals, Grow New York City, the NYU Langone, all over the city in organizations small and large, with communities and national organizations as well. This is the fabric of our city, and it's you that go out there and make that work for the rest of the people in the city. Since 2016, the Hunter College NYC Food Policy Center has honored 320 rising stars, and tonight we're adding another 40, which brings us 360 full circle all the way around to our beginnings. In December of 2023, we hosted the inaugural reunion of those 320 individuals from 8 cohorts. And we met in this space. We had the opportunity to hear from keynote speaker Elijah Hutchinson, the new executive director of the Mayor's Office of Climate and Environmental Justice. And he spoke about the important issue of climate in our city. And Ed has told me that since that first reunion, they've also started a quarterly newsletter curated by alumni with guidance from Casey Dalrymple. I hope I've said that right. I only met you, Casey, today. I hope that's not a butchering of your last name. He's our Center Manager of Communications and Operation. And the second edition of this newsletter will be coming out this week. So please look for that in your emails. We're all really happy to be here to celebrate with you tonight. We welcome your friends and family to join us. And congratulations I'm going to hand the mic back over to Annette so we can celebrate our Changemakers. And I thank you for being here, and congratulations to all of you.
Thanks so much, Chris. It's always wonderful to hear about, the pieces of the rich history of Hunter College, for sure. There isn't a better job than handing out awards. And now we get to celebrate a few individuals who are leaders, mentors, and stewards of our city's political, environmental, and nutritional landscape through their work as an elected official, an appointed lead for an inaugural city institution, and a smart entrepreneur in the food space. People, and in this case, all women, who are definitively change makers. We've had some standout change makers since the first awards for this category in 2019. Last year, we honored Mayor Eric Adams. Before that, Danny Nierenberg of Food Tank, Karen Washington, Stephen Ritz of the Green Bronx Machine, and Dr. Marion Nessel. So I don't think there's a harder working person than New York City's own Councilmember Gail Brewer. Yes. She's absolutely everything, everywhere, all at once. So smart, understands the nuances of every bill, and is a big thinker around how and why we could and should do things better. She has this great ability to distill information so that we can all understand the importance. Whether she's advocating Congress for more food aid through the Farm Bill, looking for ways to expand food education in public schools, exposing her colleagues and staff to the importance of a strong and resilient regional food system, which includes institutional procurement focusing on New York State farmers and producers, or an over-decade-long focus on fresh food for seniors. We all have Councilmember Brewer to thank for these types of impressive initiatives and so much more. With an equally dedicated and hardworking staff, we are indeed lucky Councilmember Brewer is in our corner. I'm hopeful her work inspires some of you to seek elected office. And since June is Dairy Month, I couldn't let you leave without sharing one of my favorite New York State Farm Stores products, which you will all see outside when we have a reception. There's chocolate milk from Battenkill Valley Creamery in Salem, New York, hailing from where I used to live in Washington County, run by a fourth and fifth generation duo of Don and Seth McEachran, delivered to us by the Dairy Wagon, a distributor of upstate New York cheese, yogurt, milk, and ice cream. Gail, I think you answered one of your favorite foods in our questionnaire that we handed out as being peanut butter and jelly sandwich. This chocolate milk is going to pair really great with that, and you're going to take some with you when you go, the milk, that is. So thank you, Councilmember Brewer. And she won't be able to stay with us after, but she has, I think, 2 more events to do tonight to show up for. So thank you.
I remember when somebody said the kids shouldn't get chocolate milk, I was going to have a protest rally. I believe in chocolate milk. I love chocolate milk, so thank you. And also, when I came in, I don't know if she's still here, but yes, you are. So I live, obviously, on the Upper West Side, and when somebody says they live on the West Side and they're under 40, I'm like ecstatic, because everybody's over 40. And I said, where do you live? And she says 83rd and Columbus. The woman downstairs, she goes to City College. I'm like, oh, I know everybody on that block. And she says, I'm a Zingoni. Now, that is the best restaurant deli. It's not a restaurant, deli on the whole West Side. They own the building, which is why they're still there. And my great-grandmother went there to shop. So that place, when I see, that's just another example of how great you are, that the person who's got 4 generations of a deli on the Upper West Side is greeting me downstairs. That's really, really special. So anyway, I was at her grandmother's funeral. So thank you for the welcome. So to get this award, obviously Shula Warren Puder, who's my chief of staff, I know in 2017 she received a similar award, and she's much more deserving, I think, than I am. But I will say that partly started because just recently Grow NYC, I think some of you may have been there, honored Barry Benepe. And Barry Benefee is the founder, along with Bob, of the Green Market. As some of you know, other honorees know this even better than I do. But see, his father and my grandfather were best friends for 80 years. And I remember his father saying to my grandfather, "Why doesn't he become a banker instead of hanging out with farmers?" I remember those exact words. And of course, he contributed more, with all due respect to bankers, than any banker ever has to the city of New York by being one of the two founders of the Green Market. So I think that's partly why I'm so interested, is I believe, as Barry does and you do, in farmers not losing their opportunity to be farmers. And I have a cousin who is a farmer in Geneva, New York, second generation. I must admit, he just started with this damn cannabis shit. And so he's sort of giving up on other things. And then, even gets worse, somebody offered to buy him out. So I read somewhere that the Chinese mafia was in charge of buying people out. So I sent him that article. I don't know. He says he's got lawyers and it's not the Chinese mafia, but I don't know. So anyway, farming is interesting. I also feel very, very, very strongly that the city of New York should purchase locally, as you said. And when I was in the council before, we had a bill that said simply best practices, best effort, because I'm not allowed to say must. If I could, I would. So the issue is, if the city of New York would make a bigger effort. I know many people here, other honorees, are trying to do that, but I feel so strongly about it. If you go to Rikers Island, the food is awful. And there's no reason that that food, one local institution right there on an island, couldn't purchase locally. At least DOE is certainly trying. I'm not going to say they're not. But we have to do better. So that was one issue that I feel very strongly about. Obviously, we worked on school food. We worked for the seniors. Thanks to Schuler Pooter, we have this wonderful program. I think it's 13 years old in terms of getting fresh food to older adults in Manhattan. And my God, they love it. They literally wait until it starts because it's what they could perhaps go to the market, but it's less expensive. It's not heavy. And we often deliver right to the Block Association or the Senior Center. So it means the government is doing something for them. And of course, the food is unbelievably delicious. Also, we now have a youth market at Brandeis High School. Those carrots are to die for. The chickens to produce the eggs. Now, who else would have on 84th and Amsterdam chickens that would then produce the eggs that you can then purchase? Eggs are delicious, fresh and delicious. And then, of course, there's all the issues of nutritional. We're trying to make more nutritional education data. Not so easy to do. We keep getting preempted, but we would love to be able to do that. And I think in general, the idea is making sure that New York City, with all of this purchasing power, does the right thing. And that's what my number one issue is, and I keep going back to it. So I'm here just to congratulate all the honorees, to congratulate just the people who make this day possible. I'm certainly not under 40. I saw something about under 40. I am not under 40. But I appreciate the opportunity to learn from you, no matter whether it's at the Tisch Center, going upstate. Now, of course, I did 3 upstate so far tours. You have no idea. It was like driving Miss Daisy. Some of these commissioners had never been upstate. They got lost. And but it brings them, I swear to God, they never saw radishes being washed. They don't know anything, and yet they're doing the purchasing for the city of New York. This is absolutely a true story. Some of them have moved on, so I won't mention any names. I do love Commissioner Ball, who's the carrot man and also the agriculture commissioner. And he tries to get the city to do more purchasing. So anyway, I'm here to say thank you. One other funny story was I believe that we should purchase at EDC a washing machine for the lettuce so that we could use in New York City, could purchase a New York State lettuce. So I said it so often that somebody bought me a little lettuce thing about this big to wash my own damn lettuce. I said, okay. But I want a big one for the city of New York. So keep pushing, please, so that we do this work. Thank you so much. You're awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. I think we're supposed to stand here.
Yes, we are.
What's this retirement stuff? I don't like to hear it.
You're not there. Thank you. Thank you, Councilmember. So, you can't have food without agriculture, a fact Kiana Mickey knows very well. Kiana was tapped to run the inaugural office of the Mayor's Office of Urban Agriculture almost 2 years ago after leading Just Food. Since then, you may have seen her at a beautiful food forest in the South Bronx, giving us an assist at our annual Big Apple Crunch event with local school kids where she read stories and answered questions about agriculture. She also has guided people from DC with an interest in urban ag on a tour of the rooftop 6-acre Javits Center farm. Did you know there's an orchard up there, an apiary, a greenhouse, and a soil-based garden that helps provide fresh, hyper-local ingredients for the on-site catering arm there? Kiana is also a frequent panelist locally and keynoter nationally. I've had her as an expert here for our Food Policy for Breakfast series on the topic of urban agriculture as she repped the city with others from USDA and DC and New York State Department of Agriculture and Markets. Kiana understands the importance in finding alignment and establishing common ground throughout our state, regionally, across the US, and even internationally. We all learn so much by listening to her. So, an apple of our eye, and to a dedicated public servant, a connector of dots between upstate farmer, producers, and downstate markets, we celebrate Kiana. And speaking of apples, when you go to the networking reception after, I have to put in my plug for everything upstate, right? After this ceremony, taste or take home a New York State Empire apple from Lynn Oaken Orchards. It's a woman-run farm in Medina, out in the western part of the state, delivered to us by Grow NYC Wholesale yesterday morning. They're really delicious. Kiana. Oh.
Is my name spelled right? Oh my God. So I've never gotten an award before. So this is like really awesome. So thank you so much. I promise I won't be long. I don't have notes, so let's pray for the best. Also, it's really hard to go after Councilwoman Gail Brewer, so I'm going to do my best. Thank you. Well, I'd love to share a little story that involves Councilwoman Gail Brewer. Years ago, when I was early in my career, starting into food justice and working on the Farm Bill and learning about the Farm Bill, I was just a community advocate. I was just a volunteer. And I took a community advocacy training course at Just Food. And at the same time, it was volunteer, right? So I'm doing it for free. I'm trying to learn for free. I wanted to make a difference. And I also needed to, make money because I had a kid and I needed to pay rent. So I got a job working part-time. I somehow got a consulting job at the city in the Department of Consumer Affairs. So part of the day, I was working consumer affairs in their office around financial empowerment, and the other part of the day, I was doing food justice or learning food justice work in the city. And over time, they invited me back to go back to consulting for consumer affairs again, juggling 2 jobs around paid sick leave. So now I'm running around the city on some part of the day doing paid sick leave work and doing sessions with businesses. And at the same time, at home, trying to connect the dots on how does this move the city? How do we make a city that we have goods and services that are deserving of businesses so they can thrive, in particular small businesses? And how do we support small farmers and community members who either A, want to start businesses or just want to have good food in their community? So I'm juggling these 2 sectors and worlds. But the reason why it's I wanted to bring it up is it also meant that I was sometimes doing public testimony about Farm Bill in front of Councilmember Brewer. Other times I'm doing a paid sick leave presentation where she's presenting to businesses, and she always remembered my face. She would always talk to me, but she always gave me a look on why did I see her twice in one day or 5 times in 1 week? And these are 2 separate things. So it's been, I always chuckled because one, when people ask about my food policy heroes, I really have 2. Lydia Villanueva, who I mentioned in the interview, who is out in Texas, who really helped me at the national level learn how to not just engage on Farm Bill advocacy at the national level, but how to find my voice in a sea of often men or policy wonks, where I didn't feel like I had something to contribute or I didn't know what I was talking about. And she would go in there and her bedazzled, nameplate and just tell the truth and tell it like it is. And that always inspired me to do that. No matter the table and no matter the space, we're not going to have change unless we show our true authentic selves, unless we learn what we need to learn, but we find a way to create spaces for voices that need to be there that are often not there. The other hero I have is Gail Brewer, Councilwoman Gail Brewer. There's never been a time in my life that she hasn't been in some office in New York City. And I feel like I've seen her at farmers markets. I've seen her at Just Food conferences. I've just seen her in the community. I've seen her at events all day and all night and remember everybody and know everybody. But the conviction that she brings to her work, the practicality that she brings to her work, and just her being her authentic self in it. And now being in a city job, my first appointed full-time job in the city, I now can only imagine what you have had to work through, go through, pass through, and fight, and still be your authentic self. It is the continued energy and inspiration that I tap into every day, all day. So it's like not just great to now be able to work with across the table and talk to you about farmers and chocolate milk and how to support supply chains and how to, influence or inform city procurement, where we're actually finding ways to support our breadbasket here, support our watershed here in an authentic way, where we're supporting mid to scale farmers, we're supporting farmers of color, we're supporting women, but we're supporting folks that are trying to feed us. And we on the city side need to find ways to make it easier. We need to find ways to make it feasible, and we need to be able and be willing to change. Change will not come from doing the status quo. Change will not come from just saying yes to everything and everybody. Is it a balance? Yes. But what I continue to see, and I'm hoping when I look at this award, when I go home, what it reminds me is every time I was told no, every time I was shut down, every time I was marginalized, I kept going. Not just because I'm resilient or I can't take, I can take a hit, but because there's a bigger mission. And there's bigger work. And if I can do it just a little bit longer, there's somebody else that's going to come behind me. And I look to women and other leaders like Councilwoman Brewer and Lydia, who I now can call a friend. And there's, other leaders that if they did it and they kept staying at that table and they kept changing, and it created a pathway for me. And I hope that this award just makes it seem a little bit easier and clearer that there's a pathway for y'all to continue to be change makers and keep finding a way to bring your authentic, true self to your work in the face of adversity, because it will be there. Continue to find ways to be innovative in the work that you're doing. And don't forget that what you're supposed to be doing is for the most impacted to become the most activated, in my opinion. And that if you bring your authentic self to that work day in and day out, no matter how hard it is, there is a bigger reason and purpose to do it. Not that you're going to get an award, but it is nice to be recognized. But that we will not have the change makers, we will not have the leaders that we need, and we will not just have the community and build the collective power that we need. If we only have one or two people doing the work, we will burn out. If we do not see each other and support each other in the work and longer term, then we'll never have the collective power we need to genuinely be change makers. So I hope when you get your awards and when the going gets tough and you go back to your jobs, these are, I hope, some of the things that we can part ways. Authentic self, building that pathway, keeping a smile and a laugh in your work, but that you're building not just for yourself, but you're building collective power and building a pathway forward for genuine change to come and bringing it for other folks as well. So I'll just leave it at that. I do want to just say thank you again. I'm excited to see y'all get your award. I want to especially thank Annette Nielsen for acknowledging me and honoring me and creating tables and platforms for me to be able to share not just my personal story, but examples of the work and how we're trying to change New York City for the better. So thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Kiana. That was terrific. So, besides being Dairy Month, did you know it's also Upcycled Month? Who knows? Raise your hand. Who knows it's Upcycled Month? I know one person does. Right, exactly. So, upcycled is a term many of us, even a decade ago, didn't know. I mean, I didn't. So, I was wondering where it came from, because I like to know these things. So it's the process of transforming byproducts, waste materials, useless or unwanted products into new materials or products of better quality or for better environmental value. So that came, I guess, from a German engineer, Rainer Pilz, in 1994. Is that right? Okay. So while he's credited with it, in our world, I think Anna Hammond coined the term. She has had a career that more recently included serving as the executive director of the Sylvia Center. There, she collaborated with farmers, institutions, funders, and foundations to creatively solve food insecurity. Her step into innovate and solve the dire effects of wasted food, rescuing the excess that might be left unharvested in fields, brought her to be the co-founder of Matriarch, where her delicious upcycled tomato sauces can be found on the shelves of Whole Foods. You've probably seen them there. Also, her nutrient-dense and delicious vegetable stew was one of the items found in our pilot project this semester. As an aside, some of you may know we worked on retrofitting 2 vending machines to serve as food pantries. And our collaborator, John Chin, I don't know where John is, but anyway, back there, who helped us create this. He's also a 40 Under 40 alum, by the way. He, really made that project sing, and one of the machines used for our shelf-stable machine, we used Matriarch as one of our products. So when you go out for the reception, please also take a look on the tables. You'll find the Matriarch shelf-stable vegetable stew. Please help yourself. They're really terrific and delicious. So Anna, you so eloquently talk about upcycling, and you're also one of the founders of the Upcycled Food Association. And we need to hear from this climate impact hero. We celebrate you. Thank you.
So very hard acts to follow. Gail and Kiana, who, are the, core really of the incredible work that's happening in New York City and has been happening for a very long time. And I was inspired to found this company, Matriarch, and I call it Matriarch for a reason. And I'm very pleased that all the Changemakers also are women, because we need more women running things and imagining. And what is a change maker? A change maker is a person who is able to bring lots of people together and inspire them to be their best selves, to do their best work. And, I know you're both incredibly modest people, and standing up and talking, even receiving an award sort of seems almost strange, because it's really everyone you work with who you're being awarded for. But I was inspired to launch this company after many years in the nonprofit world, in the art world, in the creative world, because I had the opportunity to build a healthy eating program for youth and families living in public housing in New York City, which is technically the 10th largest city in the United States by number of people living there. Incredible people with very little access to healthy food, such a strong desire to eat better. And then working with farmers in upstate New York to, try and figure out ways to bring their surplus product into the classes to create greater access and an educational opportunity so that people could make themselves healthy. Because if you don't know how to cook and you're living on a budget, very hard to eat healthy food in a regular way. And as yet, it's not in our institutional procurement. There's so much great work happening, but it's not there yet. Access is not there. And farmers need extra income. So the donation model is very flawed, though necessary, in terms of creating true equity in our growing community. And on top of that, wasted food is one of the most negatively impactful, it has incredibly negative impact on the environment. It's 8% of greenhouse gases are started by agriculture. So that was really the inspiration, was the people we worked with teenagers and young kids and their families who knew that there was something great and possible out there, and just wanted to learn how to get access to it. So I think about Changemakers as people who imagine something is possible that's big, find lots of people around them who also have that energy and ability to get shit done and cut through bureaucracy and never take no as an answer and find that toehold somewhere, imagine the future, and then act. And I think what's cool about this room and all of the 40 under 40, and none of us are under 40, but accumulatively we make many centuries of good of good inspiration, that everyone has the opportunity to change something. And we live in a time where it's urgent to do that. No one can sit and wait around for things to change, from a climate perspective, from a health perspective. And it's never easy, but you don't do it because it's easy. You might do it because you think it's going to be easy, but you just wake up every morning and you keep on going. And part of that energy and the gas in your tires is from, people like everyone in this room who's working really hard to do something new and different in the world. And we can get there. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna. Also someone we also learn a lot from on this topic and more. So now we're on to media. We've had some, standout media award winners in the past, and you probably saw some of the images on the video that played at the beginning. Last year we had Jerusha Klemperer from Foodprints and Steven Satterfeld, and Naomi Starkman, Helen Rosner, and the New Food Economy. So it's our pleasure to present the 2024 Media Award to Gothamist. Started over 20 years ago and is a survivor, operated now through New York Public Radio. There are a few big reasons to support local news. If you care about the state of democracy and civic engagement, which only really works with informed communities. If you care about other topics and issues which truly need local coverage for people to fully understand those topics. And so here with Gothamist, it's like I go to this every day, and, you can sign up to Gothamist.com, where else are you going to learn about what's happening with the rats in New York City? It's been a hot topic, really. Who would provide an unflinching and radical look at our local government officials? Where else would you get a deep dive into coverage on hunger amongst seniors? And how else would you hear about the way street vendors were being treated while trying to make a living? And who's been there to sound the alarm on school food for our New York City kids? It's truly a go-to source, and in our weekly newsletter, which comes out every Wednesday, with original content as well as aggregated news by topic area, sign up for at nycfoodpolicy.org. You will also find that we include Gothamist stories, particularly in our New York City section on food, agriculture, and climate, as a reliable source for our readers. So tonight, to accept the award on behalf of Gothamist is Deputy Editor Stephanie Claird. Thank you, Stephanie, and your stellar team. Please. It's the apple.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. Thank you so much for this recognition, and congrats to all the honorees tonight. I think I might be the last speaker standing between you and these adorable awards, so I will try to be very quick. But some of you might know this. Gothamist and WNYC are the audio and digital versions of one newsroom, and we work together to cover the city with a mission to make New York work for New Yorkers. And since we're talking so much about age tonight, this year Gothamist turns 21, and WNYC is celebrating its 100th year. So these are two major milestones for us, so thank you for giving us a reason to toast tonight. Gothamist's coverage of food and food systems comes from across our newsroom, touching every team, which makes this award even more meaningful for us. Accessibility, affordability, and access have been the overarching themes of our coverage this year as New Yorkers navigate the effects of inflation and potential citywide budget cuts. But food is also something that touches all of our lives and helps us relate to one another. And because of this, we also make sure our coverage celebrates the diversity across our city and explores the way various systems affect and are influenced by the people who live and work here. So thank you again for honoring our journalism and our journalists. It means so much to be recognized for the work we do every day. Thank you.
We are here. We're so excited to honor this 2024 cohort, our rising stars representing much loved and well-known organizations and entities. New York's so lucky to have you in this space. As you will all soon be a part of our new alumni group, you'll be receiving our quarterly newsletter. The newsletter is curated by our communications and operation manager, Casey Dalrymple. Casey, can you raise your hand so everybody knows who you are? Thank you. And we're with contributing articles by our alums. So if you have an interest in writing and being published in the newsletter, let us know, or let Casey know, I should say. Our latest edition that's going to come out next week will include timely pieces by alums Assembly member Stephen Raga and Green Top Farms Anup Joshi. So I'd like to call our Associate Provost back on stage with Casey to assist with the distribution of our 40 Under 40 awards. Our honorees will be called to the stage alphabetically. And you can applaud whenever you want to. So, and I think we'll be taking pictures, maybe if you want to stand a little bit further up. Julie will guide you. So, Janelle Antoine. Thank you. Anastasia Cabral. Thank you. Yep. Alex Caceres. Thank you. Teresa Canigliaro. Congratulations. Milagros Yaz. Congratulations. Grace De Aguilera. Congratulations. Lynn Estrella. Congratulations. Sra Fiegelman. Congratulations. Abigail Fuqua. Congratulations. Alyssa Gardner Vasquez. Congratulations. Hillary Getty. Congratulations. Caroline Heitschu. Congratulations. Alexandra Kocic. Congratulations. Wendy Lopez. Congratulations. Lauren Margolis. Congratulations. Andrew Margome. Congratulations. Allison Marino. Congratulations. Adriana Mendoza. Congratulations. Delilah Nadell. Congratulations. Ryan Nebeker. Congratulations. That's great. Kira O'Brien. Congratulations. Serena La Vista Pryor Blackney. Congratulations. Yep. Ciara Ramirez. Congratulations. Justin Robles. Congratulations. Brianne Ross. Congratulations. Janae Russell. Congratulations. Kylene Sanchez. Congratulations. Courtney Scheffler. Congratulations. Allie Smith. Congratulations. Shauna Minai Spence. Thank you. Congratulations. Taylor Stevens. Congratulations. Amelia Tarpey. Congratulations. Tony Walcott. Pleasure to meet you. Corey Wilkins. Congratulations. Nicole Yo Solano. Congratulations. Aharon Zarzar. So let's give a huge round of applause to our 40 under 40 class of 2084. Woohoo! What a stellar group. So I know everyone wants to get to networking and enjoying some beverages and some food out there, but just some quick housekeeping notes. There are special boxes that are at the back of the auditorium for you to safely transport your statues. So please pick up one as you exit to the left. For the 40 under 40 awardees and also for the Changemakers and media honorees, you should take a basil plant. They're also near the boxes. These were planted by our crop of interns this semester as part of our Smart Pantry pilot project that also included cooking classes, talking about ways to repurpose leftovers and how to add flavor without adding salt or fat. So herbs are an excellent way to do that. Taking a plant home is also a way to truly start your urban agriculture journey. Also, we need to call our 2024 cohort to the stage for a class photo at the end. So please don't exit out until I just have a few more words, okay? And Julie will be taking the photo. Chris, I want to thank you for being here and representing our Hunter College administration. We truly appreciate you and your dedication to our work. We owe a debt of gratitude to the facilities team, Ali, Donnell, Lydia, and more, the AV and tech crew, St. Elmo, and Michael and his great team, including William, who is capturing the video tonight, which, by the way, we will have up on the YouTube channel probably next week early. And it'll also be, there'll be a link for that in our newsletter. So sign up for the newsletter. And thanks to our public safety crew, who's always willing to help us out during events. Julie DeFay of DeFay Films, you're a rock star, and we are so appreciative of your talents behind all cameras, video or still. Great performances. How much we owe Liz Newmark for always coming through for us. She's responsible for the beautiful cheese and crudité and dip that you'll enjoy in a few minutes and never gives me a hard time when I call hat in hand. Blue Triton and Saratoga Water, thanks so much for the beautiful bottles of still and bubbly. I grew up in the Adirondacks near Saratoga, so it's always kind of like a touch of home. Curious Elixir also donated our alcohol-free products, and the Dairy Wagon gave us some nice discounts on our Battenkill Valley Creamery chocolate milk, which is like a milkshake. If you like dairy, it's really delicious. Grow NYC. Not only did we get to source our great produce that we included each week in our Smart Pantry from them, the apples you see outside, we've come to include at all our events year-round. Our partnership with eTerra and Maiden Voyage Catering across the street is a true pleasure. We get to support food entrepreneurs and enjoy their delicious fare, not only for the Smart Pantry, but at various events. These cookies you'll have tonight, there's a vegan option too on a small table, are delicious. And I'm truly grateful for the time I've been in this position here at the Food Policy Center. Many of you may know I've moved to Washington, D.C. already, and I'm segueing out of this role at the end of June. So keep your eyes peeled for new leadership to come. Lastly, I don't have enough thanks to go around to my colleagues who've become friends here at the center. Diane Browse, who's not here this evening, but she's always made me feel welcome and continues to offer a helping hand. Richard Caruso has been always up for making last-minute copies and printing all our materials, like our programs and things, and our little tags. And Carrie MacArthur, thank you. You're a kindred spirit. Appreciate all the help. Casey, you're amazing. You've worked tirelessly, maybe not tirelessly, but always with good humor. Anna Speck, Emily, and John Chin and Valerie, thanks for your many, many contributions. And our intern and volunteer crew have been outstanding. They've rocked it the entire semester with the Smart Pantry and everything else. Thank you, Nicole and Hafsa, and Jennifer, thanks for showing up tonight too. Truly, thank you all. Enjoy.